Hey, welcome to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. If you chose this lovely aquamarine stone today, if you saw this thumbnail, you saw this crystal, and you chose this video because you picked this stone, you were scrolling through YouTube, saw this video, you picked this stone, or if you're seeing this stone right now as the video is scrolling by, the video has started playing and you see me playing with this stone, you're really drawn to it, you think, what is this stone? Is this stone something I like? Am I drawn to this stone? This will be your reading. If the video is shaking, if the camera's jiggling, and you're into that too, this will be your stone. So we're gonna put it up here, and we're gonna get into your reading. I feel pulling time cards. I feel like there's first a message about timing you guys have on your mind. You're curious about when something is gonna happen. There's something specifically you're curious about when something's gonna happen. There's two different groups in here who have two different subjects of what they think is going to happen. So I'm going to pull for two different subjects here. So first subject is here, second subject is here. Okay. So there's two things that are on your mind. First of all, some of you are curious about when you will be on a team. When are you going to get a job? When are you going to be on a team, or you're applying to be on a team? You're curious about some kind of team project coming up, and you're curious when you're going to be on this team. When are you going to get to be working with a specific group of people? The others of you with the Seven of Wands in reverse here are curious about shadow work. You're curious about when are you going to be overcoming this monster that has haunted your psyche for so long. This is a little bit of a darker, not that the wish is darker, but that the thing that you want to disappear, that you want to work through, is a darker energy. These things, for whoever chose this group, even though they are separate kind of things and very, very different from each other, with the timing energy, we're going to be pulling timing cards today for this question, or for this group reading, but they'll be happening at the same time for both people watching this reading. So let's get the timing cards out here. So let's see. So we said stop obsessing first. So first of all, obsessing is getting in the way. Whether you are looking for the new work environment with the new employees, or you are dealing with the shadow component in your psyche. My air just turned on, so that's confirmation. When you stop obsessing about these things, answers are going to come more clearly. If you are obsessing about this work environment, you're trying to find a job at all costs, just trying to apply places like a crazy person. You're not letting the job come to you. You're just obsessing about it. You're thinking about it too much. You're doing tarot readings about it every single day, looking for the perfect team, trying to figure out who the perfect team's going to be, whatever the case may be. The first thing the cards want you to do is stop obsessing first. We have a cigar here, we have alcohol here. That is also saying that cut back on these habits. That would be very beneficial, cutting back on these habits, because when you're sober and when you are not doing these habits, there is a feeling of the thoughts getting worse. Now with Seven of Wands here with this shadow component being reversed, for those of you who are thinking about, when am I going to get over this demon that I've been thinking about, this feeling of despair, this feeling of darkness that's going on in my psyche, stop obsessing first can take on a new meaning. It can mean stop obsessing about trying to rid yourself of the demon and start realizing it's okay to embrace this demon temporarily. This demon will fade out in time. It is going to happen. It is going to happen in divine timing. I know you guys are fed up. I know you're fed up with the darkness within that does not shut up. That is how I'm feeling it. It's like the darkness within that does not shut up. For a lot of you, this is intrusive thoughts. For a lot of you, this is some kind of dark or disturbing imagery that keeps coming into your mind. And you're just like, when will it go away? When will I get rid of it? Here's the thing. Stop obsessing about it. Stop obsessing about the need to get rid of it in the first place. It is just something that is with you, and you first have to accept that it is with you instead of rallying against it and feeling uncomfortable every time it rears its ugly head. So those are the first messages for the timing messages for the two different types of groups, people watching this reading. We also have May. So next May could be a significant turning point for when these things fully bloom into existence. That's something I want to point out. And we also have the red flower here, which means that your root chakra will be fully aligned, which means when these things manifest, you'll feel fully safe and secure. So whether it's the negative shadow-like thoughts that are going on in your head, or the monsters that you're dealing with in life, or whether it's that team situation, whatever the case may be for you guys, you will feel fully secure and embodied in that reality. So for example, for a lot of you with this shadow demon thing, you'll just feel very grounded. You'll feel very, very grounded when it comes to this energy. And for those of you who are trying to get on a team, you're trying to find some kind of specific team or work environment to deal with, When May shoots around, you'll be very pleased with the team you're on and you'll feel a sense of security. Let's pull one more timing message. And then I want to get into some other aspects of your guys' reading today. If you chose this Aquamarine and this reading does apply to you, if you were drawn to this Aquamarine. Let's see here. We have festive season. Yeah, this will be a time to celebrate in May when these things happen. I think your mood will be uplifted. Very, very uplifted mood is what I'm feeling. And it's time to harvest as well. I'm seeing something else in your life coming to fruition, or harvest time. That is also a time that you know that these things are set in stone, right? So there will be a big celebration in May, some kind of harvest of some kind. I know if you're ravers, there's EDC, there's like lots of festivals in May. Summer's right around the corner. There might be some kind of festival you're going to, something along those lines. But festive season just means it's time to harvest. I'm seeing this guy harvesting this wheat right here. It's time to harvest. Festive season also means big advancements can be made in the holiday season, like December, or during Thanksgiving if you celebrate that in November, or Halloween. Like as you're approaching May this upcoming year, big advancements could be made in those areas. We also have a sacrifice. A sacrifice is required, give up to get. When you are approaching this period of time in festive season in May, when the May is approaching, and December, there might be a sacrifice that is required on your part. Don't get totally terrified of this card. It's not as scary as it seems. It just means you're gonna feel like giving up something in your life to get something else. That usually what that means is clearing something out in your schedule to receive other things. So for example, you might get the job opportunity in December, for those of you who are looking for this teamwork thing. But in order to accept the job, you have to rearrange some things in your schedule, for example, and in order to work the shift or the hours on the new team. So if you're trying to get on a new team, you have to rearrange some things in your schedule to get onto the new team or work with the new team. This might mean cutting out some other things in your life that you're ready to give up, or you're going to give up temporarily before you can fit them in a new way in your schedule. So this is a sacrifice required, give up to get. If you really want this team thing really badly, you're gonna have to give something up to make space for this next thing. Also in December, for those of you who are working with the inner demons, right? A sacrifice is required, give up to get can be a few different things. In my opinion here, sometimes it can be about taking risk or facing a fear, right? Giving up the security of running away from your fear and facing it, and then getting the resolution to that fear, something like that. Sacrifice can also represent itself in more metaphorical terms, where if you have a we have a figurative monster in our brain, right? Is kind of what I'm seeing for you guys. There's a figurative monster that you're dealing with that you need to slay, you need to conquer, so to speak. Sacrifice means sometimes we have to sacrifice something in our life to appease the beast, so to speak. This can also mean a sacrifice of the beast itself, a metaphorical sacrifice, so to speak, of a part of your psyche that is also attached to this shadow component. This can be some kind of cleansing, right? Where you're sacrificing the shadow beast, or you're personifying it into an object or a person, something like that. And it's getting sacrificed at this point in time in your life. This can also mean maybe you have to give up a specific person in your life that is contributing to these shadowy type of thoughts. Okay, so let's see what else we have for you guys. We also have friend. You have a friend now blessed. No matter what is going on in this situation, and up until May and festive season for you guys during this reading, we do have the Three of Pentacles here. We do have the Seven of Wands. Both of these things you guys are trying to manifest in this reading. With friend, both of you have a really solid friend group right now. You have really solid friend connections. If not a group, you have one solid friend that you can talk to about anything. This is something to be incredibly grateful for. Some people don't have someone they can open up with. I'm hearing that your friend is better than any therapist you've ever had or any therapist you will ever have. This friend has given you the best advice your entire life. And I feel like this friend for a lot of you is a long-term friend. For some of you, it's a friend you've met within the last 5 years and they've changed your life for the better. They're actually the inspiration. This friend is the inspiration for why you want to get this job with the teamwork. And they're also your inspiration for why you want to conquer this shadow, right? This friend is the inspiration for those things. But for most of you, this friend has been in your life for a very long time. They've been side by side with you your entire journey, and they're always guiding you. They're always there. They're always there to talk to uplift you, to guide you. I also is interesting with friend here, we see this feeling with this friend card. I'll show you up close. There is a symbol here on the friend card. It looks almost like a wine glass, right? But we have half the glass, which is full, and then the other half, which almost looks empty, like it doesn't have. And so it's a kind of a paradox a little bit with this wine glass, you know? And that's kind of, in a sense, what friendships are. Sometimes with a friendship, when you're communicating with someone as a friend, sometimes one of you is going to be empty while the other one's full, and vice versa. That's kind of the paradigm of the friendship. And so don't be afraid that when you're feeling empty, don't be afraid to approach your friend, because usually what's happening in a friendship is they're overflowing and they're full of love. You know, they're full of love and they're ready to give you that love. Yellow is also reminding me of sunshine. I do think that speaking to friends about these particular fears that you're going through, or worries in the case of the Three of Pentacles, fears in the case of the Seven of Wands, are going to be best done at in sunlight, or during a period of time where you are working with the sun. Okay, I am going to roll. Oh, this one already wanted to roll. We have Mercury, and then Virgo, and then let's roll this one. I got the 5th house, but we also seeing the 8th house. I picked it up when it said the 5th house. So the number 5 could be significant. But possibly a lot of you, a lot of this stuff could start when Mercury transits the 8th house, maybe in the upcoming year. This could be a time when things are manifesting for you when Mercury transits the 8th house. We also have, or your 8th house, we also have Virgo here. Mercury, when it transits Virgo, could be a significant time as well. These are just astrological placements to be aware of. Significant events could happen in these particular periods. So whether Mercury's transiting Virgo or your 8th house, that could be significant. If you have Virgo as the 8th house, I don't know what sign that would be. Let's see. If Virgo's in your 8th house, then I believe Leo would be your 7th house. So you would be in Aquarius, is kind of what I'm seeing. Right? That'd be Aquarius, right? You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, if Virgo's in your 8th house, that would be something to consider about this reading. And Mercury feels like Mercury rules the main components of all of this, what's going on. So Mercury transits, Mercury conjuncting, Mercury opposition, stuff like that. Even though it's going to take till May, it might be one of those things, because we're doing this reading, or this reading is kind of, I feel like it's going to come out in like June or July of 2025, or whenever you're watching this, honestly, because these readings are timeless. But Mercury takes about a full year to wrap itself around, because it's kind of chasing, it's like, it's a little bit before or after the sun, like it's kind of chasing, or it's like surrounding the sun the entire time. So it kind of tails the sun no matter where it's at, and the sun makes about 1 cycle a year. So you can think of Mercury making like roughly 1 cycle a year. So it makes sense that it would be in May, maybe. I don't know if that plans out. I haven't like looked at a chart where Mercury's going to be where Mercury's going to be in May, but it might be around 1 year, something like that, where a lot of these things manifest if you're watching this reading as it first comes out. However, my readings are timeless, so just know that if you're watching this in the future, it's something to do with Mercury. Something with Mercury is transiting. And for some of you, if Mercury is approaching like Taurus or whatever, or is kind of coming up close to this May period, the sun is coming into this May period where you're entering May season, or May, the month of May. And this reading's coming to you a little bit before May, and you're kind of already out of the woods with most of this stuff. You've already done the sacrifice in December and stuff like that. This could just be confirmation for you that your reward is approaching soon, your goal, you will be manifesting your goal soon. And that when you look back on some of these things, you'll notice specific Mercury transits were the key points of this whole thing, this whole shish kebab of energy, right? So yeah, I hope this reading resonated for you guys. I love giving you guys these readings. This is a new style that I've done in a while. For those of you who are watching right now, you're already aware of this. But what I want to say to you is have a good day. Have a nice day. Yeah, it was lovely to read for you. If you feel like subscribing, do that. If you want to like or comment on the channel, that really helps the channel grow, helps it expand, helps it reach more people. Lovely reading for you guys. Glad you clicked on the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.